to ET Now. This is News Now with me, Jessica Trivedi. Alright, now the central government imposed a 12% provisional safeguard duty for 200 days on 5 steel product categories, including hot rolled coils, sheets and plates. This aims to shield the Indian steel sector from the impact of surge in imports. To discuss the same, we have Amarendu Prakash, Chairman of Steel Authority of India Limited, with us today. Alright, now big overhang out of the way for the steel sector. Government has now announced 12% safeguard duty on select steel products. But will this really move the needle? Will 12% safeguard duty be sufficient to boost domestic steel prices?
I'll start this with telling you that the demand in India remains robust. As you have seen over past 2 years, 23-24, the demand grew by 13% and estimated numbers for 24-25 is 10%. So the demand is robust. Indian steel industry has been looking for a level playing field. We are an efficient industry, but we feel that from certain countries, the imports which were coming in were below cost prices. An unfair advantage was being taken by some players. So we just wanted a safeguard against that. We are happy and thankful that the government has analyzed the data and found our claim to be true. And so the safeguard duty has come about. Currently, this is a provisional safeguard duty based on preliminary analysis. We await the results of a more detailed analysis and we'll see how it goes.
Right, of course, we get that. But my question was about the 12% safeguard duty being sufficient to boost domestic prices, because back of the envelope calculations suggest that even after accounting for this 12% safeguard duty, domestic steel prices will still be at a premium versus import parity. Would you concur?
Talk about import parity price, as I just answered, that the import prices have to be seen in the light of what is a fair price, and does it include any subsidies in the parent country of export or not. And that's where in steel industry, what we have seen is, we feel, and this was substantiated through detailed data analysis, that there is a $80 to $100 subsidized costs are there for some of the global players. So we feel a safeguard to that extent is something that the Indian steel industry will need just in order to be on a level playing field. We are not in favor of blocking imports, but we do feel that our competitive advantage in terms of our efficiency should be maintained.
Right. Now, what was the ask of the industry? Is the industry satisfied with 12%?
While submitting our safeguard application, we had asked for a certain number. However, this is a deliberated process and WTO compliant process. The government mechanism examines all the data, and based on that, it makes its own calculations before announcing the duty. Currently, as you know, government has announced a safeguard duty of 12% based on preliminary analysis of the data. So as the deeper analysis from the government side goes on, we will await further results and further comments from the government.
Right. Now, at a time when China's economy is not in the best of the health and world too is facing the brunt of tariffs, any other measure that you think the government can take to boost the domestic steel industry?
We believe that there are two things that are important in any business. One is quality and second is cost. So apart from cost is one thing on which this deliberation has taken place, and current duties have been announced and further analysis will be done. On the quality front, government is also taking various steps. Quality control orders have been issued, which takes care that no spurious steel or low quality steel is imported into the country. We believe that's a very welcome step, and we'll need to monitor that and make sure that those quality control orders are implemented with rigor and diligence.
Right. And how has the domestic demand environment been? What is your sales volume guidance for FY26?
I can only talk about the industry numbers. As you saw, almost 155 million ton is broadly the estimate for 24-25. And we believe a 7 to 8% growth over the next 5 years, we feel is a fair number to have in steel consumption in India.
Right, and given the volatility in iron ore and coking coal prices globally of late, how do you see the spreads shaping up in the current and next quarter for the industry?
So the spreads, as you see, with the numbers in the last 2 years, the steel industry, which is trying to grow in terms of volume and capacity, has had to reconsider its capex programs, and this has come from practically all players in the Indian steel industry. I believe the current duty which has been put up and further cues which are coming in, considering India's growth potential and the consumption growth that is slated to be there, we would like to work on our capacity expansion programs. The numbers in terms of price will help us in taking those decisions faster and getting our projects on the ground.
Right, that was exactly my next question on sales capex plans. Can you explain in detail about your plans to increase steel capacity from 20 million ton currently to 35 million ton by FY31, plant-wise split and its approval status?
So out of the total 15 million ton expansion that we plan, 10 million tons have already been approved. 4 million ton is coming at Burnpur, 3 million ton at Bokaro, and further 3 million ton is in tranches of brownfield expansions, which are going on in different plants. So 10 million tons is already approved, 4 million tons is in market, and further 6 million ton is coming to the market. Over and above this, the next 5 million ton is under planning stage and should be in the market in a few months' time.
Right, and what is the debt level currently and what is sales deleveraging roadmap? Will debt inch higher given aggressive capex plans?
So as you see, if I look at the numbers of FY24 and compare with FY25 numbers, in spite of a tough year, the borrowings have broadly remained at the same level. Non-India's numbers are below 30,000. So our debt is in control for the time being. And as the markets improve and our volumes and prices should see an uptick, we believe that we are at manageable levels of debt. The actual capex numbers on expansion will start hitting the ground in FY27 as we freeze the projects and actual work on the ground starts in FY27. So that is when we will see the capex going up. For the moment, the borrowing numbers are all right.
All right, now thank you so much for joining in. Now moving on to clearing